Yo, sorry about that. A really, really big mix up. I have my hover cam for my students, and I have like my hat and stuff. I wonder if my address was up there. See my address. Either way, um, I had to like end it because I couldn't change the camera. What YouTube should do is allow us to switch cameras in the live stream. Like, there's no way to switch cameras when you start live unless you're using like a Streamlabs or OBS. Listen, listen. What's up, Marley December? How you doing, Candle V? Hey, hey, Miss Purple. How are you today? So sorry for the confusion. Sorry for the mix-up. I'm hoping that everybody comes back. And that was in the other one waiting. I appreciate it. What's up, mommy? How you doing? Oh man, I'm a little tired. These days are getting longer, and the sun is out for a short amount of time. Being back in the school building is nice. It's fun. It's exciting. Being around my colleagues, but and I don't even get out that late. Like, I get home about 4 o'clock, and I get home tired, tired. And then you got to sit in traffic because I'm no longer living as close as I was to the school. Thank you so much for sharing it out, Candle V. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I promise you, this phone never goes off unless I am on live or recording for my vlog. Put this on mute. So how's everybody doing today? What's everybody up to? Kanie Moore, what's going on? Good to see you here. Hey, Fee, what's up? How you doing? Two band members are sick. I'm going to pray for them. Make sure that they recover. Hope they recover quickly, too. Let me pour this. Tonight I'm having tea because after this I need to go to sleep. So it's green tea with honey and lemon with some mandarins in it. Yeah. You guys hear it? Oh, wait. Let me see. It's nice and soothing. Listen. Can you hear it? Either way, I like the way it sounds. And it's in my focus. This mug isn't going to fill itself. You know where you can get this mug? In the Teespring. You know what I don't have ready? The Teespring link. Hold on one second. Let's get that up so I can save it much easier and copy and paste it. So Teespring. That's my Twitter. There it is. So how's everybody doing today? Harry Z, what's up, bro? How's it going? Hope you had a good day. You can get that mug right here. You can get that mug right there. The mug, the actual mug. Yeah. So what's up? Who else is here? Who else is here? Got Fee in the building. Did you guys hear it? So, that's a weird sound because it sounds like really nice, but like if you have to use the bathroom and you hear water dripping or liquid pouring, it makes it worse. So if you have to use the bathroom, I'm sorry. Let me taste how this came out. Magical. One of them is so I'm gonna pray for them, guys. I'm gonna pray for them. You having green tea, honey, and ginger? Yeah. I don't have any ginger. I need ginger, but I'm not drinking coffee tonight because right after this, I got to go to bed. I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning. I wish I had the dedication to get up at 5 a.m. to work out, but I do have the dedication to wake up at 5 a.m. to get ready for work to leave by 6. Kanie Moore, take care of yourself. He has a pickup, right? You see him, right? And if you guys go into my community tab, you'll see a picture of Officer Harry with his Harrison Family Vlogs mug. Hey, to live strong, you snuck right past me. What's up, sis? How you doing today? Oh man, it's gonna be an interesting show. We're gonna talk about an interesting topic. Slow to the party. Yeah, he's taking it easy. I'm just waiting for him to post content and videos on YouTube. Today we're talking about, I guess it's more like a part 2 of what I spoke about 2 weeks ago about saving your marriage while or how to save your marriage after an affair. Today is how to bounce back after a divorce, whether it's an affair, no matter what the reason is. We're going to talk about how to bounce back in a healthy way. Some people, they bounce back and they get a lot worse than they were when they were married. And just a backstory, you guys have probably already know, I'm a divorcee. I've been divorced for a number of years now. And so I have a little bit of experience in this area. Not only do I have an experience in this area, I've done a lot of reading. Actually had some professional courses about the topic. So I know a little bit about it. And whatever I talk about on my lives is not exhaustive. There's always more to learn. So when I come live to you guys, it's more like a teaser to get you guys doing your own research and researching further. But before we go any further, if you have not done so, please like this video, thumbs it up. I would appreciate it. If you have not joined the Harrison Extended family, it's very easy to do so. Okay, I don't make it hard to join my family. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, so it'll notify you when I go live and when I upload new videos. All right, typos like crazy. Dre, we've seen the pic of him in uniform. Wait, why you say it like? All I'm hearing is, "Oh, Dre, we've seen the picture of him in uniform." Is that the tone I heard as I was reading that, Candidly V? Is that what I heard? Oh wait, Molly's like, I know, right? Yo, listen, back off, ladies. All right, I got I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow, so all of this, my beard's gonna be done. When it be like, see all the little micro hairs right here, all gone. My hair, thinking about going back to where I was before with my low cut, my skin fade. What do you guys think? Should I keep it like this and just get a taper, or should I go back to the way I was? In the wintertime, I'm definitely going back because I like to wear hats in the wintertime when it gets cold. And it's easy to manage. Candidly V is like laughing because she knows. She knows. Listen, ladies, back up. Leave my bro alone, okay? So, you're dying, right? You think I should keep the menudo going? So the first time I saw my sister after like the extended quarantine, she looked at me. She was like, "What you put in your hair?" I said, "Honestly, water and pomade." Don't lie. What you put in your hair? So listen, I got Nigerian, Carib, and some probably some Southern European in me. Okay. This past week, one of my one of the staff in the building said, "Andre, you have nice hair." And when my co-teacher was like, "What is nice hair? Like, what do you mean by nice hair?" I was like, "Let me sit and watch how this plays out." Yeah, but yeah, everybody has nice hair. I said, keep the hair as it is now. Yeah. Finest juices and berries. I gotta try that. If you're going to go back to normal style in the winter, you might as well have cut it now. I was thinking, like, just do it now. But I'm not going to be wearing a hat until maybe November. Definitely in December though. So yeah, we're back in the school. We got tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. We're doing remote with everybody, and then on Monday, those who opted in for hybrid learning, half of the students in the building will be coming in for in-person learning, and then on Thursday and Friday, the other half would come in for in-person learning, and then they'll reverse remote learning and in-person learning. Confusing. Parents are not happy, and we have more parents opting out of in-person learning, going full remote. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out in a couple of weeks. So we'll see. What you laughing at, Candidly V? What you laughing? All right, so let's get started with the topic, right? I got notes and everything. Notes and all. Sensitive topic. And again, this is not exhaustive. And I do come from a Christian perspective. I am a believer. And when I got my master's in marriage and family counseling, it was It was accompanied by some, theology and just it was accompanied by the Bible. So we took a Christian approach to counseling and marriage and family counseling. So more like biblical counseling. So whenever I talk about it, it's definitely coming from a Christian perspective. Okay. Same here. Cobb County still doesn't go back until October. Yeah. So we'll see. They may not even go back in October. They may extend it. All right. So topic of the day, how to have a healthy bounce back after divorce, because we all want that bounce back. Some of us need a bounce back after a long-term relationship. We need a bounce back, right? But sometimes when we bounce back, we don't really bounce back. We just fall flat. And that's because we don't do it the right way. You're trying to bounce back and not just fall flat on your face. So the goal is to bounce back in a healthy way, in a way that you have come out better from the experience and not worse off. Okay? And we're going to talk about that. The unfortunate truth about living in Western civilization is that 50% of most marriages end in 50% of all marriages end in divorce. Now, this has nothing to do with religion. You could be a Christian. 50% of marriages end in divorce. So it happens. And the also unfortunate thing is when you are like my age and you are looking to get remarried, the likelihood of marrying somebody, one, without kids, and two, that's never been married, or both, is almost impossible. It's not likely that it can happen, but it's not likely, right? So we're living in a time where although I like to come and give you guys an idealistic approach to things, because that's the goal, we don't live in an ideal society and an ideal world. So we are fallen creatures. We have all fallen short. We're not perfect. So because of that imperfection, we got to sort of navigate life, and whatever's thrown our way, we adjust and adapt to keep going. So this is what it's about. Yeah, glad you're well. Eat to live strong. So this is what it's about. So today we're going to talk about it. Divorce sometimes is unavoidable. You can work hard, pray hard, do everything right, and still end up being a divorcee. However, getting your life back is the goal, not digging yourself into a deeper hole. Bars. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear the bar right there? Let me say that again. Getting your life back is the goal, not digging yourself a deeper hole. Bars. Bars on Jay-Z. Sign me now. Rockefeller Records. No, it's not Rockefeller. What's it called? Rock Nation. Sign me to Rock Nation today. Bars. All right. So we're going to talk about some things that we can do that you can do, or that these are some of the things that I've done also. Things that, we rhyming today? We rhyme every day. Now, I'm from New York. That's what we do. So these are some tips that people can apply to help them bounce back in a more healthy way. Okay. Because let's be honest. Sometimes, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, and this is how I feel. This is my opinion. And I know some people have done this, right? I do not agree with the divorce party, like celebrating divorce. God does not like divorce, but he allows divorce for certain reasons, right? So whenever two people get a divorce, in my mind, in my heart, that's a tragic thing, because I would love to see relationships repaired before they get divorced, but that's not realistic, right? That's just ideal. So, I think it could, not for every case, but starting off a divorce with like a party to celebrate it could lead to more toxicity in a person's life. There are certain steps that need to happen for them to move forward, and I think that having an event like that could be detrimental and counterproductive for a person's growth past divorce, and we'll discuss that in a second. All right. So check this out. The first thing that people need to do after divorce is take things slow. Take it slow. Slow down. Let me love. All right. So take it slow. Stay out of the dating scene for an extended period of time until you're able to fully heal from the divorce. Now, When people get divorced, or even when relationships end, and you have devoted so much time to that relationship, people mourn after the relationship is over. That's why people mourn when people die. When we have loved ones that die, we mourn because we're not going to have that same relationship with that person anymore. The relationship is no longer there. That's the real reason why we mourn, right? If we never had a relationship with somebody and we know that, we hear that somebody died and we don't really have a relationship with somebody, we don't really mourn that death. What we really mourn is the relationship that's not going to be there anymore. That same feeling of mourning that we have for loved ones that are lost, that have lost their lives, people have when they lose their relationships, when they get divorced. They're in mourning. They're in mourning, right? And they got to be able to process that and work through those feelings and emotions to be able to heal in a healthy way. Yeah, it takes a long time to actually move past that relationship. It does, and it can. And if you don't take the proper steps, you'll never move past it. The goal is to bounce back, right? And if, bounce back meaning like don't bounce back to the relationship that messed you up, but bounce back in yourself. You're bouncing back, right? We're going to talk about that. All right. So when people have not fully recovered from that and they start dating again, right, they lose themselves all over again. And what they're trying to do is mask or hide how they're really feeling about that lost relationship by filling in the gap with somebody who may not be necessarily good for them. There's that saying. What's that saying? Maybe you can put it in the chat where it goes something like where getting over somebody, there's nothing like getting over somebody with somebody new. What's that term?
Motion detected at the front door.
That's mad loud. What's up, Queen? How you doing? What's that term? Like nothing can help somebody get over you. To get over someone, to get over someone, you get under someone else. Come on, guys. Like, come on. That does not work. Does not work. You have not fully processed. Thank you, Molly. I appreciate that. All right. To get over someone, you get under someone. Or the way to get over someone is to get under someone new. Yeah. Like, do you hear how toxic that is, yo? Like, how toxic that is for a person's real and genuine healing? It does not work. I'm about to get over you by getting under you. How you doing? Like, come on. You have not processed. We got to process how we feel. We have to, so that we can move forward, right? So that you can move forward. And the reason why I'm saying we is because your boy is a divorcee. All right. You see the wink? Oh, that's that corny wink. All right. So, yeah. And next, keep healthy boundaries from people of the opposite sex. Keep healthy boundaries from people with the opposite sex. You know what that means? Do not tell your business to Johnny, who is being absolutely sympathetic to what you're going through, because Johnny could be sympathetic with the goal of getting the goods. All right. All right. Sometimes, and let's be honest, ladies, you know what happens a lot. Sometimes there's some people waiting in the cut patiently for the opportunity to step in to that spot so that they can fill that spot that your ex vacated. Excuse me. What's up, Logic? How you doing? Keep them out your DM. Facts. Right? Let's be honest, right? They be waiting, hoping that something happens, hoping that something happens in a relationship that causes a breakup, and they're just waiting to be that sympathetic friend, that shoulder you can cry on. And you start thinking, oh, he's so nice, or she's so sweet, like she gets me. And you're hooked, and you haven't healed from your previous relationship. You're about to get into a toxic relationship again. You know what I'm saying? 50 Shades of waiting in the cut. They don't be waiting. They don't be waiting. And I'm going to be honest, right? Like, I remember like being that guy, and I wasn't like waiting in a creep way. Like, I really wanted to be this person's friend and see them happy. But then I sort of like fell for them. And I was like, dag. Yeah, like it happens. It happens, right? We got to be careful. So true, because Johnny was after me as soon as the divorce was finalized, and Johnny was my ex's best friend. Straight trash. Listen, and it be your ex's best. It be your boyfriend's or your girlfriend's best friends that all of a sudden be calling you up. Hey, you okay? Hey, let's get together for some coffee. And if they're willing to tell you all the dirty stuff that they did to you, be careful of that too. Okay, be careful of that too. All right, creep squad goals, right, Harry? For real. America needs relationships. Yeah, man, we do. We do. We get relationships wrong. And the reason why we get relationships wrong is because when we go into relationships, we only looking to get what we only seeking to get what we can get out of it, right? We want to know, what is this person going to do for me? Rarely do we go in a relationship believing or thinking about what I'm willing to do for the other person. And the reason why is because we live in a very capitalistic society where it's all about, how can I get the most out of this specific situation? It's all about me. It's all about me. And I think that thinking really has crept up into our communities, our families, our homes. It's a tough thing to navigate. It's a tough thing to deal with, especially when we're living in a society that is so me driven. Like a lot of what we listen. My pastor once told me that he has a thing about this self-love thing. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean people need to love themselves? He says, I understand that, right? But for the most part, people do a good job loving themselves, right? So he took me to a group picture that, the church took one day, right? So he says, come with me. He walks me to the back of the church and he says, look at this picture. All right, what do you see? I said, yeah, I see myself standing right there. And he said, that's my point, all right? Right? The first person that you saw in that picture was you. All right. And he said, I'm pretty sure that the first person you went to go look for in the picture was you. Right? He was like people for the most part have a good job loving themselves. They just need to learn how to love themselves and how to better themselves. And a lot of times bettering yourself means having a deeper relationship with God and the people around you. And I was like, yo, that's deep, Pastor Dave. Wow. I never thought of it like that. Right. But self-care is also important. And we're going to talk about that though. All right. So keep healthy boundaries from people of the opposite sex so that you can stay away from creep Johnny. All right. And not Johnny from the UK. Kenny V, don't tell him that I was calling him a creep. I promise you I wasn't. I was just using Johnny as an example. All right. All right. Treat a relationship like a marathon rather than a sprint. Preach it. Preach it. All right. Johnny was trying to be next up. Johnny is he be waiting. He be waiting. All right. Johnny was sure Johnny sure was logic. However, his trying failed. Wait, what are you saying? Are you saying, oh, Johnny sure was logic. However, his trying. Gotcha. Okay. I thought you was calling logic Johnny. I was like, yo, wait. Logic ain't no one trolling you. Yes, caller. The problem is we fail to communicate. I've been saying this for years. That's why I enjoy the video you shared earlier. Yeah. Yeah. That was a deep video. Like, and if you guys, if anybody can go in one of my moderators can go into, my, caller, how you doing? Glad you're here. If anyone can, one of my moderators can go into my community tab and get that video, the latest video I shared, and put that link in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Oh, hold on. Let me see if this works. I don't think it's going to work, but let's see. Let's see if that'll work. All right. So this one too. Watch it not work. Watch, because it just never works for me. All right. So, oh snap, it works. Okay. Hold on. Let me show you. It works. All right. So next, do not tell your feelings to anyone of the opposite sex. Do not tell anyone your feelings if they're in the opposite sex, especially if you feel like there could be something going. Because first, You risk catching feelings for the person that is helping you. Oh, this person's so sweet and they make me feel good and they're such a good listener. Creeps will listen as long as it takes. All right. Johnny will listen as long as it takes. All right. The second, people take advantage of your vulnerability. After a breakup, we're in a vulnerable position. And sometimes the people of the opposite sex will exploit that vulnerability for their gain. They're not really concerned about you healing. They just want to get you. They just want to bag you. And you got to be careful of that. You got to be careful of that. It's and plus it's cuffing season, guys. It's cuffing season. All right. Be careful. Like guys that is trying to, and tax season is right around the corner. So you got those creeps, right? Waiting in the cut to speak that sweet talk so that they can get part of that income tax check. Be careful, guys. They be creeping out there, okay? They may not be Johnny. They could be Victor. All right? I don't know if there's any Victors in the chat. If there are, I'm sorry. All right. Next. Use the time to develop a closer relationship with God and learn more about yourself and what makes you happy. And this goes into self-care. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a few. Okay? Next. Have zero contact with your ex-spouse so feelings do not arise again. Okay? This is what happens a lot of times. Couples separate. They're about to get a divorce, right? And they get in their feelings. And sometimes they need an itch scratched, right? I'm saying that in the most respectful term because I got family chat, family show, right? So they need their itch scratched, right? So they go to their ex-spouse for that like one night, scratch. And they don't want to be with each other. They just, and one person may think, oh, this is a good thing because now we could probably try to reconcile things, while the other one is just like, I just came to get mine and leave. Like, so I always recommend that if a couple is going to get a divorce, unless they're trying to work it out, have close to no contact with the ex-spouse or the spouse that's about to get divorced so that you can move on. So you can close that chapter and move on. Now, the problem is, and it's not really a problem, it's just, it is what it is. If you have children, make sure that if you are getting a divorce, that the only contact that the two of you have is about the children. Any interaction about the children. All right. I stayed away from guys for 18 months after my divorce. Yeah. And the thing is, you set a time to, you was like, listen, I need to heal. And I'm not about to jump into another relationship so that I can fall right into that. Like, yeah, you guys have ever seen The Runaway Bride, right? And how all through that movie, she became the person that she was about to marry, and then she realized this isn't who I am, and she ran. That's why she ran. And then after she realized all that, she wound up learning what her favorite egg is and what she liked to do and about her. And then at that point, she became aware of who she was and was able to love somebody properly, right? If you get a divorce and you don't do that proper healing, you're not going to be able to love somebody effectively. So stay away from it. But I'm about to do a J-Lo on my ex-husband. Oh, from Enough? Is that what you from Enough? Listen. Georgia has some very lenient gun laws. Just saying. I ran out on a date last week. You did? I would like to hear more about that, bro. All right. Next thing that you don't want to do after a divorce, all right, and this will help you in your bounce back. Do not make any major decisions for at least a year. Okay? At least a year. Enough is one of my, it was one of my favorite movies too. It frustrated me. We should talk about that too, Ken Levy, about domestic abuse and all that stuff. I think that would be a dope show. All right. So, make note, for instance, like what you don't want to do is like quickly do things like move out of state. After divorce, you don't want to just move out of state unless you have family somewhere that is going to help you by being a support system. Okay. You don't want to quit your job. Say, I'm getting a divorce. I just want to quit my job. Unless you're in a situation where you're trying to work it out and the person that you cheated on your spouse with is working with you. All right. I talked about that a little bit last week. You don't want to sell your house too fast because then you may regret selling your house. Okay. Don't make any major decisions. All right. What you may want to do, ladies, is do a fresh haircut and shave it all off and have that new growth. I know you ladies be doing that. After a long relationship, right? I'm going to say it. I'm going to talk about it. A long relationship, you had your hair all long and luxurious, and all of a sudden, I need to start fresh. I need to start new. I'm going to shave all my hair off. I'm going to go straight bald and let it grow again. Ladies, why do women do that? Put it in the chat. Why do women feel that for them to start over, they got to shave their hair off? And so, by the way, I'm not knocking it. Some women are, well, actually, all women will look beautiful with bald heads. I'm just saying that. But, I'm not knocking it. But why? Why do women do that? Leave me alone. Oh, did you do that, Molly? Because I wasn't even talking about you. I'm talking about women, period. Because women be doing that. Women be shaving it. They got their heart's broken and they just shave it all off. All right. I don't get it. Like my heart gets broken and I'm not shaving my head off. I mean, I have hardly any hair. All right. It's a fresh start. It's like starting new. But why your hair? Like, it's symbolic of a fresh start. Hey, you can talk. What's up? Wait. We have to. We shared your video. Did somebody share that video? We was talking about you earlier about the video that you was talking about communication that I shared earlier. So, and we actually did, yeah. And Logic YouTube Court TV shared it in the chat. It was a great video, and I'm telling people to watch it. So definitely watch it. But why does shaving your hair has to symbolize a new start, right? Like, why not just go to Ulta and get new makeup? Like, why shave your hair? I'm just saying. But do you, ladies? Do you? I don't know one guy that's going to shave his head after a breakup to start new. We're about to get new Jordans. We may get, a PS5. We ain't shaving our head. And I'm kidding, guys. If you guys need to do that, absolutely do it. It's part of the process of moving on. And I think using that as a symbol to start fresh will always be a reminder that I'm not going to go back there. So I'm with it. And I understand it. I'm kidding with you guys. So like I'm cracking with you guys, but I really get it. And I respect it. A woman's hair is tied into her emotions usually. I get it. Broke up with myself after high school and got into a relationship with the Marine Corps. Yeah. Hoorah. Did I say that right, bro? If I'm not a Marine, do I get to say that? I don't want to disrespect the armed services. All right. Next. Next. Spend time. This is the third thing. So the first thing was take it slow. Second thing was make no major decisions for at least a year. All right. Yeah, I can't say it, right? Honorary. All right. I'm in the army of the Lord. Let me stop. All right. So make no major decisions and spend time focusing on yourself. Now, this is that self-care portion of it. Okay. We lose ourselves in our marriages. We tend to adapt a new identity. And I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna use me as an example. When I was married, I identified myself as a husband and a father. Okay. I got so engulfed in that after I got divorced, I didn't know what it meant to be single. I had to mourn the loss of the relationship from my ex-wife. I had to mourn the title that I held so dear of being a husband because I loved being a husband, right? I didn't know how to be single, right? Bro, ladies, I'm going to be honest. I remember crying at night in bed alone many nights. Like I was broken, right? And it was to the point where I didn't trust. Did not trust, right? And there was a time where all I wanted was my ex-wife to come back. Like that was it, right? And it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't going to happen. And I got to a point where I had to really start focusing on me and my kids so that I can move on properly. All right. Before I go any further, Salvation Army, good for me too. Amen. Army of the Lord. Um, hello. Hey, my life is with as Nia. What's going on? Thank you so much for being here, Nia. It is definitely a shift in the mental state as much as the physical. Yeah. Um, Kenley V's DMs comments on any comment. How long were you married? I was married 10 years before the separation, and I guess like 12 years legally. Yeah. I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed that I couldn't keep my marriage together. It was one of my worst experiences in my life. Yeah, I agree. I felt that same way. Like I failed in my marriage. Like I failed, right? And I felt like I thought like this, that now for the rest of my life, I'm going to have that stigma of being a divorced man. Like it was hard for me. It was hard for me. I had to even come to grips with that. But number three, I had to start focusing on myself, and I'm gonna tell you how some of the things that I did. Right. So I developed, or you develop a deeper relationship with God and let God fill that emptiness. Right. Like sometimes we try to fill that emptiness with people or new people. We try to get over somebody by getting under somebody. I'm going to get over somebody by allowing God to get over me. You know what I'm saying? So that I can focus on developing a deeper relationship with God, a deeper relationship with the people that love me, genuinely love me. All right. Because we tend to try to find things to fill a void or to fill that emptiness that we have, and it's usually temporary fixes, and it doesn't really fill the gap. And we need to be able to fill that gap properly. You know what I'm saying? I feel you too, Kennedy V. It definitely feels like a death you have to mourn. Yeah, I was saying that earlier before you came in, that when you just like people mourn, when people die, loved ones die, and people mourn, the people that are left behind, they mourn. They don't mourn the death. They mourn more or less the relationship that's no longer going to be there. Because we could hear of people's death and don't really mourn it. But when you have a relationship with somebody, you mourn that because you're no longer going to have that kind of relationship. And it's the same way when you break a relationship, people that are living. So spend time focusing on yourself, right? Next, relearn your identity and make sure to see God as you do it. My whole identity was in being a husband. Now I had to find out who I was as a single man. I didn't know who I was as a single man. I didn't know who I was as an individual man. Like I had engulfed and immersed myself so much in being married that everything I thought about myself, I automatically included my ex-wife. Like there was no me without her. Now it's just me. And I didn't know how to process that in the very beginning. If you've been married for a long period of time, it's hard to process that in the very beginning. And what we tend to do is, because we've been married so long, we want to try to find somebody that we can be married to, but not really be married to. I can act like a wife, I can act like a husband, but I'm not that. And we got to be careful of that. So I'm about to explain how I redefine myself. Next, pray more, seek God more. Just spend time in communication with God, and I'm not, it doesn't have to be like focused prayer all the time. It could be just, you can be walking down the street and just, engage in a conversation with God. Work out. I did this, right? So in 2011, I realized, yeah, I'm not probably going to get her back. So since I can't get her back, I need to get my sexy back. I really did. And I dropped like 50 pounds. 50 pounds. I was slim, thin, chocolate skinned. And I was like, yeah, what's up? What's up? Look at me now. I was like this, but not like a sick thin. I was running every day. I was eating healthy. I was like just really focusing on me and getting me right. And then I started school and gained all that 50 pounds back. That's what school does. They don't let you go to the gym and work out. So I have to get my sexy back once again. But yeah, so work out more. Focus on your physical self, as well as your emotional self and your spiritual self, right? And date yourself. I would do this, right? Andrea, what's up? How you doing? I would do this, right? I would go to the movies by myself, right? I started taking trips by myself. I traveled out of the country at least one time a year by myself. I was dating myself. I was taking vacations with me. Like, well, then it's not a vacation because it's just a regular vacation. Yeah, so it wasn't really a vacation. 'Cause I don't know if I want to be my own bae. I need somebody else to be my bae. You know what I'm saying? But I was taking vacations by myself. Like I was like really focusing on me so that I can get over that in a healthy way, and be able to find who I was, being able to find what I like, what I was interested in, my hobbies. After that, I picked up the camera and started recording more. All right. Now I'm doing live streams talking about my experience and helping you guys bounce back from your divorce. Right. So it's a mecation. Yeah, I was taking mecations. Thank you, Marley. I was taking mecations. Going. I've been to Mexico a couple of times. Trinidad, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. I was like, I was gone. I was gone. Los Angeles, leave me alone. I'm doing me. But and outside of the mecations, I was taking myself out on dates. I was going to restaurants and treating me to dinner. I was, and this is stuff like you hear, women talk about, but I think it's good for men too. I was going to movies and seeing movies that I wanted to see and enjoying time by myself, right? Finding again what I liked and spending time with me, getting to know me again. I've done the same thing after my divorce. It's a good way to just find yourself again and focus on you. It's important that we do that. Okay. So I was doing a couple of things to bounce back. And I went through a undiagnosed depression where I didn't want to wake up in the mornings. I was in bed a lot. I was crying at night. It was a hard time, a very hard time. I lost my job, and I became an instant single father overnight. It was challenging. It was challenging. But I started to focus on me a little bit more and developing my relationship with God even deeper than it was, and growing in a deeper relationship with me and my kids. And I had to let my kids see that despite failed relationships, you don't have to be a non-success in your life. You can be successful regardless. So my kids help push me through too. Fourth, reconnect with your loved ones. Sometimes when we get married, we stop with the close relationships that we once had, right? Friends that we spent so much time with, we no longer spend time with. Family that we used to see at every holiday, we barely see now, right? So now it's time to reconnect with the people that are still in our lives. We just don't have a strong relationship as we once did. Reconnect with those people. Connect with those who has proven to love you, to be there for you, to want the best for you. Key word, proven. Proven, okay? Because if they haven't proven that to you, you risk yourself being put in a situation where you're being influenced by toxic people. We don't want that. After a divorce, after a long-term breakup, we don't want no toxic people in our lives. That's when I'll say hashtag no new friends or hashtag no toxic friends. We don't want that. I treat myself often. I also buy flowers for Molly. Okay. My strong connection with my family was his problem. Listen, and that's why he's not there now. And you were able to keep that. Next, reestablish your support system. Okay. With the divorce, your spouse would no longer be there as a support. So now you got to find your support system once again, or reconnect with those who have once supported you. Because listen, one of the hardest things to have to do is having close relationships with people, right? And then once you get married, having that sort of disappear because you're in a relationship with somebody who just wants you all to themselves. In a lot of cases, in most cases, those friends who you have stopped talking to, if they really loved you, will let you back in their fold and support you, understanding that it was the relationship that caused you not to speak to them the way you used to. And they'll be there. They'll be there. That's crazy. I love women who have a great connection with their family. Me too. Me too. Like that's a requirement. Like you know how women will say, I could know he's a good man by how he treats his mama. I'm like, yo, let me see you how you interact with your siblings. And I do that. I be watching, lurking. We watch all that. All right. So with that, you got to find like your ex-spouse is no longer that support system. So now we got to reestablish our previous support systems or create new ones. Next, find friends and find new friends and healthy new friends. All right. Now listen, what you don't need, right? And I know that Cardi B and Offset have filed for divorce, or Cardi B filed for divorce. And Cardi B, you're probably not going to ever hear this, okay? But in case you do watch this, okay, let's say in the YouTube algorithms it shows up and you catch wind of this, Cardi B, make sure you surround yourself around people who are non-toxic, okay? Non-toxic, okay? You don't want people around you who's going to encourage toxic behavior. You don't. You don't want people around you that's going to encourage you to do drugs, go out partying and dancing, go out and sleep around with different people because you need to get your mind off of your ex-husband. No, no, no. It's toxic. You need to heal. So make sure that you want, I'm talking about, the rapper, Cardi B. Yeah. Yep. You want to surround yourself around people that's not going to encourage toxic behavior. Because let's be honest, whenever we're hurt, right? We tend to inflict more hurt and damage on ourselves. Or we can be that kind of hurt where we got women in our corner, right? And this dude cheated, right? And you want to bust the windows out of his car. That's toxic. And if your girls are willing to co-sign that behavior, I would recommend you stay away from them. I said it. I said it because that's not going to help you heal. That may give you temporary satisfaction. That's not going to help you heal. So stay away from toxic people, gentlemen. All right. Stay away from those dudes that's going to be, let's hit the club tonight. You single now? Yeah, let's turn up. Yeah. Don't. When they start barking like dogs because you got divorced, stay away from those dudes. Okay. Not healthy. I'm going to say it. You may not like what I'm saying, but I'm going to say it. Okay. Next. Okay. Find friends who will help you grow to be a better person. A better person. Okay. That means if you got a brick in your hand and you're ready to throw this brick through the rear view mirror, rear view window of your ex-husband's car, and your girl is saying, yes, do that. You want friends in your corner that's going to be like, listen, he's not worth it. You need to focus on you and get better. Okay. That's what you need in your life. Okay. Bro, we could talk about that too, about toxic, Cardi B being toxic to herself. We could talk about that. All right. Candy V, Sunday. What's up? All right. When did you know you were healed and ready to move forward with life, with the life desired? It wasn't until about a year and a half afterwards when I realized it wasn't going to work. And I realized also that her loyalty was definitely to another man. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. Can't. I got to move on. I got to focus on me. And that was a process. Like I didn't wake up and say, okay, I'm just going to do me and focus on me now. It took a while. There was a point where I said, I'm no longer going to invest my emotions and my time in trying to make it work. I tried and it's not working. So let me start working on me and moving forward in me and getting myself better. So listen, make sure you have friends and find new friends who will help you grow into being a better person. All right. Very important. Next, stay away from coworkers. I'm going to say it. Stay away from coworkers unless you've had coworkers that you are friends with for a long time and they're trusted individuals. Coworkers could be some of the most toxic people to get involved with after a divorce. I'm going to say it. You work with them. All right. You do business with them. They really don't think too much about what's happening in your personal life. All right. If they can get you to go out and party with them and cut up, they will. And then what they'll do is, if they're not a trusted individual, they'll go back to work and tell everybody everything that you did the night you guys went out. Be careful with that, right? You need friends that will be in your corner. On a positive note, I do not approve of destroying the property of others. I agree. Okay. So there are some coworkers that could be very beneficial to you and help you, but don't be looking to party with, like you went to work and you hear that, you're 33 and you hear that your 22-year-old coworkers are going out with her friends at work and you want to go and turn up because you just been divorced. Slow down. Slow your roll. Chill. Relax. All right. Be careful. Okay. If they have not proven to be good people, they may tell all your business after you get back to work. So Saturday, you go and partying with them. All right. Tuesday, you're the talk of the office. Be careful. Be careful. No, now listen, I'm not saying all. Okay. If you've had relationships with your coworkers prior to the divorce, I'm with you. All right. But be careful with developing close friendships with people that you work with if they have not proven to be in your corner. Okay. Keep it at an arm's distance until they're able to prove, because a lot of things happen at work. Okay. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Shanita, I'm glad you're here. Better late than never. I'm glad you're with us. All right. Next, be careful of other divorced friends. Let me explain before you come at my neck in the chat. Vibes, what up? So, before you come at me in the chat, be careful of other divorced friends, okay? Divorced friends can be helpful as long as they're not excited about their divorce, right? Misery loves company, okay? And there are some women and men who have friends who are married. And because they're getting a divorce, they may seek to cause strife in somebody else's marriage so that they won't be the only ones divorced. Be careful. Be careful. They'll start, after your divorce, they'll start making you think like, oh, wow, like this divorce was actually a good thing and good. And then you'll start being toxic to other married couples, encouraging a divorce. Be careful with that. Be careful with that. Misery loves company. And if you're involved in a friendship with somebody who's divorced and they're toxic, they may want you to be toxic with them. Okay? Don't spread the toxicity. Back away. I'm not here for that negative stuff. All right? And lastly, look for a trusted counselor or support group. Okay? I always recommend counseling. Mental health is a thing that in the Black community is almost non-existent, especially among Black men. We got to get away from that stigma that if we are looking to go and get mental health checkups, that we're crazy. You're not crazy. Okay? You know what's crazy? Busting out windows out of somebody's car. You need a counselor. That's crazy. It's insane. All right? You know what's I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Ladies, you're going to get upset. Angela Bassett. Waiting to exhale. Now, I know he did her dirty. He did her dirty. But taking all his stuff, putting it in the barrel, pouring the gasoline inside of it, and lighting the fire was toxic. It wasn't good for her to do that. Okay? I'm going to say it. I love Angela Bassett. All right? But from a therapeutic standpoint, it wasn't the most healthiest thing that she can do. All right? And you know what she did in that movie? She cut her hair. She cut her hair. I'm going to start fresh. And she cut it. Well, it was really a weave. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know it wasn't her real hair. It was a weave. You know what I'm saying? But she cut her hair. It's not a man answer. Actually, it's a therapeutic answer. Okay? Again, we cannot, Shanita, believe that women can go and destroy property and that's healthy. It's not. Especially if it's not yours. So I'm going to say it. You may not agree, but it is what it is. And I'm not co-signing toxic behavior. I said that before. And you know it. Shanita, you're a little late. We went through that like almost 45 minutes ago. Yeah, so I made a joke, but I definitely understand why women do that, and I get the symbolism, and I think that that part is healthy. I'm talking about her burning homeboy's clothes. See, he deserved it. What makes you think he deserved it? Because you feel he deserved that, or do you deserve to move on? All right, he wasn't hurt by that. It made her feel good temporarily. Okay, because right after that, she wound up cutting her hair regardless. Okay, so listen, what she should have did was cut her hair first and start over before taking that course of action. I'm just saying. All right. But what does that have to do with burning? Like we look at we're going somewhere else. We're going to go somewhere else with it, and how objectively people can't look at things. If you look at it from an objective point of view, it's wrong. Period. All right. Let's not think of it as I'm a woman, so I relate, or I'm a man, so I relate. Okay? It's wrong, period. All right? Wrong, period. All right. So, therapeutic, and she wound up going through a whole lot. It wasn't really therapeutic to her. It made her temporarily feel good. Temporary fixes aren't therapeutic. Therapeutic meaning that you can heal from it completely. That doesn't help her heal. Okay? It does not. It may make her feel good, make her feel satisfied for the moment. It didn't help her heal or her character to heal. But we can go into case studies about that too. Again, I'm not co-signing toxic behavior. I just won't do it. It was a nice point in the movie, and I kid you not, I remember seeing it in the movie theater in like '94. All right, went to a movie in the city with my boy Taquan and Tamika. Like we was hanging out in the movie, and when that happened, women were literally clapping. Yeah, like I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? But I get it because I watching it at that age, I was like, yo, he deserved it. But did he really? All right, so she healed after she got that money. Yeah, that money did it. Yeah. Money helps. So money helps too, mommy. All right. So find a counselor and a support group that can help you with that. Many people fall into a depression after divorce. A counselor can help with that. See, self-regulation is a very important thing. Emotional intelligence, very important. A lot of times we lack that. We lack emotional intelligence because then we tend to do things like what Angela Bassett did in the movie. We tend to do things like breaking windows in cars. We tend to do things like taking the ex-spouse to court for an astronomical amount of child support and alimony. We do things like getting back and sleeping around because you're trying to escape your feelings. Emotional intelligence is important. Being able to self-regulate your feelings and self-cope, also important. Counselors may help you get to the point where you can self-cope and self-regulate properly and practice things that will help you be more emotionally intelligent. Okay? Next, find church groups that are helpful. Make sure that they're doctrinally sound, that they are guided by the Holy Spirit, and that they're guided by love. Okay? Next, do not join groups that has a feel of defeat. When you go into the group, you feel like, yeah, I've been hurting for so long and I miss this and I'm divorced. And you want to find a group that's going to help, encourage you to heal. Groups where people are all depressed will cause you to cache their negativity. Chill with that. Find upbeat groups that will help encourage you to be happy and move on. Okay. And 6, bounce back. Some of us who got divorced have made the decision not to ever get married again. People like me, after divorce, want to get married again, right? So how do we bounce back? Okay, and quick before I have to go because it's 9:02 and I need to get to bed. Bounce back. Make sure you are fully healed before allowing yourself to date again. Do not bring somebody else into your hurt situation because you're going to wind up hurting them. Okay? Be careful with that. If you want to be a benefit to somebody else, make sure that you are healed. If you want them to be a benefit to you, make sure that you are healed. They can work hard to help you, and you won't realize that they're trying to help you because you are still wrapped up in the hurt from your previous relationship or your previous divorce. Relax. Crickets in the chat. You see that, right? Logic is funny. I didn't even want alimony, although it was offered. I left with nothing. Yeah. Okay. So make sure you're fully healed. Second, if you're looking to marry again, two things I'm going to leave you guys with before I close. Know what you want in a man. And also be able to identify what you're willing to offer a man or what you can offer a man. If you are looking for somebody to save you out of your mess after the divorce, you're not ready to be in any relationship. If you cannot identify what you're able to offer a man after your divorce, after you've been healed, you're not really ready to be in a relationship. And this goes whether you're divorced or not. Two things you need to go into relationships thinking about. Okay? What can this person do for me? What can I do for this other person? What can they offer me? And what can I offer them? A lot of times we only go into relationships thinking about what the other person can offer me. Scratch that. What can I offer them and what can they offer me? That's mutually benefiting for us to grow together. And with that, I am going to close out because your boy has to be up at 5 a.m. So it's past my bedtime. Imagine a 40-year-old grown man with 3 sons, a daughter-in-law, and a grandchild, a whole grandchild, going to bed at 9 o'clock. I have no life. But guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here with me and rock with me for the full hour. Thank you for even coming back after the technical difficulties in the very beginning. I really, really, really appreciate it. If you have not done so, hey, Isa, thank you so much for being here. Love hearing this from a male perspective. Oh, I appreciate you coming through too. I really appreciate it. If you have not done so, please hit that like button for me. If you have not joined the Harrison Extended family, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button and hitting the bell notification. If you would like to support the channel, let's see if this will work for me. Please go to the links that I'm about to drop right now and pick up mugs like this one here. Focus. T-shirts like this one here. Other mugs too that you can buy. And listen, man, I just appreciate you guys rocking with me because you guys have been amazing. You have been, hey, Miss Torrin, thank you so much for being here. Well, if you only caught 30 minutes, you were here. So I appreciate you being here. 30 minutes is better than 0 minutes, right? How are you, friend? How is everything going? Everything's going good. Keep preaching and stay real. Thank you, my brother. I'll try my hardest to be real. Always, always. Hit those thumbs up. Yes, hit those thumbs up. And if you'd like to support the channel, you're more than welcome to by going to any of those links to pick it up. Wait, I think I could also put this here. Let's see if that works. All right, guys. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for rocking with me for the past hour. And I'm going to try to upload a video tomorrow. I'm not sure about Thursday or Friday, but I will have a video up either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Definitely Saturday morning. I don't have to go to the DMV, but and I'll be on time. But again, appreciate you guys. Love you all. God bless you. Hey, MJ and J family, what's up? Thank you so much for coming through. I'm about to end it now, but I am glad that you came through. I appreciate it. All right, you got 12 watching, 22 thumbs up, 23 thumbs up. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And until we go live again, definitely this coming Saturday at 10 a.m., I'm out. Peace out.